Hello, everybody. All right, as you guys know, I'm a fisherman, and it's getting way too cold to go fishing. Leah and I went this morning for about, I don't know, an hour, and then we quit. It was just too cold. She did catch a little bass, which was fun. But anyway, came home to do some stamping, and the stamp spoke to me. So this is the Lake Pier. Basically, it's like a silhouette stamp, so it's very, very easy to color, and I thought, well, this is going to look great with some pan pastels. So I have it mounted in my Misty. It's a red rubber cling mount stamp, so you want to remove your foam out of your stamp positioner. And I'm going to ink it up with my favorite black ink. And I am using some Nina Solar White cardstock here, and we are using VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. And of course, we have our handy dandy Blue Night Rubber Stamps handle, which will make sure that we are inking it without dropping it. And we're going to get a nice, solid, dark image with this. So probably have to ink it up a couple of times. Really cute stamp set because you do have that little pier there. And we'll see how much color we can add to this. Has a little lighthouse in the corner. And I believe my paper is cut down to, I forget. I want to say it's 5.5 by 4.25, but I could be wrong. Oh, pretty good. That's why we use the Misty. We have solid images like this. You want to make sure you're using some kind of stamp positioner. That looks good, but there's still a couple areas where it's white. And so we want to make sure that we ink those up really well. Nice, we want a nice dark image. And I have that Ranger double stick adhesive holding my paper down into the Misty, so we're fine there without magnets. All right, looks pretty good actually. So I'll do a little bit more over here, a little bit more in the grass. I'm going to make sure that's pressed down in the corner. Okay, that looks really good. All right, so I'm gonna pull that out, actually the whole thing out, which is fine. I'm gonna take my heat tool to it and try to dry it off real quick. Actually unstick this. think we're good there. Because this is a pigment ink, you want to make sure that it is completely dry because you don't want to smear that around when you go to rub your pan pastels over it. So I have a couple of different trays of pan pastels. I have a little basket of tools, coloring tools. I have some paper towel here that we're going to use to rub off any of the excess pan pastels. And so let's start off with some browns and go right into the Pier. Now, 2 of these palettes you can get right from Blue Night Rubber Stamps. They're called the Sunset and then the Day and Night. So the Sunrise Sunset is this, the brights, orange, yellows, purples, things like that. And then the Day and Night pack is going to be the blues and the greens, things like that. You get 7 colors in each palette. Definitely worth having because you get all your basic colors. Very easy to blend these colors as well. And it's just a lot of fun. It makes it very easy to color and very easy to clean up. All right, and I have little boo-boos there. And you just need a couple of colors, exactly what I have here. You can get these sponges, tools, erasers, things like that, all from Blue Night Rubber Stamps as well. Like I said, I want to go in and start with the pathway there, and I have 2 colors of brown. One is Burnt Sienna Shade, which is like a reddish brown, and one is Raw Umber, which is a darker brown. So I'm going to go in with the Burnt Sienna Shade first. And we'll just use one of our little sponges here. Pan pastels are a new medium for me, but I love them. They are so easy to use. All right, now I'm going to go back in with the other brown, which is a little darker. Just going to fill in where those darker spots are. Just along the edges, up top closer to the pier there. Okay, that's it. Very simple to do. Now, I got a little brown in my water, so all I'm going to do is just take a regular eraser and erase that right out. Now, my ink is not completely dry, so a little bit of that ink smeared. You guys probably can't see it, but I can. All right, so I just want to be careful with that. Now, for my reeds, we want to go in and use some green. Move these 2 palettes out of the way. And again, I have a couple of different colors of green. I have the chromium oxide green and the bright yellow green. And we're just going to go in with our little handy dandy tool here. And just going to go in and color my grass. And that is somebody dinging my phone. Now notice as I color the grass, I have a little bit of extra color going onto the black part of the stamped area. That's fine. I'm just taking my tool and rubbing it and fading it out. So now we have a little green, we have a little bit of brown, very easy to do. All right, let's do some of our water. sponge is very dirty. This is all you do to clean it. Just wipe it on your paper towel. And I try to use the same color sponge for the same colors. So this would be my blue sponge. And I'm going to go in with some of this darker blue. This is called ultramarine, phthalo blue, sorry. Phthalo blue. And I do want this to be kind of dark because this is, I think, you know, sunset scene. And again, because this is a silhouette image and all the stamped areas are so dark, makes it very easy. Okay, now for the fun part. I made this purple sky once with pan pastels and I loved it. So we're going to take our cloud stencil and we're going to find our purple. I'm about to sneeze and then it went away. Whoops. All right, so we're going to take our ultraviolet, which is our purple. Sorry, it's just called violet, not ultraviolet. And we're going to take our cloud stencil and we are just going to put that color down. I do kind of want it to be darker at the top. And then as we go down, we'll move the stencil over. And I'm not going to add any more color. I'm just going to use what's on my sponge. And it's going to look like a hot mess. It always does until we get to blending it out. And one more time. Okay, now don't freak out. I know that looks terrible. What we want to do here is go in with our clear blending. And I'll show you that. Just going to clean my sponge off. So this one, yes, this is our colorless blender. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us our clouds. So I have my sponge pretty clean. All right, so I'm going to go into the colorless blender now, all right, and I'm going to go right over those clouds. And it's going to meld those clouds together. And if you still don't like how harsh it is, again, you can go in with an eraser. And you can lift a lot of that color out with your eraser. Where's my other eraser? This one. It's a little bit smaller. Alright, and if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of that purple into the water as well, just to show like it's got a reflection from that purple sky. But I think that looks pretty darn good, and that was so simple to color. And then all I would do is put my sentiment on there, whatever sentiment you want to do, and then seal it. Normally how I seal it, whoops, if you've never seen my videos before, is I spray the Krylon spray on there. Let me show you guys that. It is called the Krylon's Shortcuts. Oops, you can pick it up at most of your craft stores. This one is the clear gloss, and this paper just soaks it right up and it locks the colors in. So at this point, I would stamp my sentiment. And again, you can use this card for a sympathy card, thinking of you card, masculine card, birthday card, whatever you think will work. I think I want to add a little bit more brown to my little walkway here. So I'm going to go in with my little tool, little makeup blending tool here. And again, you can get all of these. These are specially designed tools for working with pan pastels, and Blue Night Rubber Stamps carries them all. So this is just a little applicator, and I'm going to go in with that darker brown. And this will make it a little darker here. Highly pigmented, so you don't really need to use a lot. A little bit goes a long way. And let's see here. Should we add a sentiment to this? Let's see. These are all birthday. I thought I had one that said thinking of you. Hold on. I guess I don't. Here we go. We'll take this sentiment. This is a new stamp from Blue Night Rubber Stamps as well. This is the Sorrowful Pup, but I love this Missing You. So we'll stamp that on there. Now, one thing I wanted to show you too is, remember we got some of that pan pastel on top of our image there. So before I seal this, I'm going to put this back in the Misty, and I left my stamp in place. I'm going to tuck this back down in the bottom right hand corner there, and clean my stamp off. What you can do is re-stamp it. So if you feel like too much of your ink got covered with pan pastels, you don't like that powdery look. Now, as long as I line this up correctly back into that right hand corner there, we should be able to ink this up. And honestly, because it was so easy to color, even if I mess it up, it's not a big deal on a card like this, because this is very easy to mass produce, very easy to color, very easy for beginners. I really love that purple sky. So pretty. Okay. Look at that. Didn't even mess it up. All right, so I'm going to leave that in there a second because I want to do our sentiment. So I'm going to clean my... Now that scene really pops. Really looks nice. I know I have a thinking of you sentiment somewhere. All right, so I'm just going to borrow this missing you sentiment. I'm going to put that right there. And then we're going to pop that onto the Misty lid. Make sure that it is straight. Oh, I think it actually pretty close. If it's crooked, it's only slightly crooked, and I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see how this does. Oh, it's not too bad. I think it looks okay. And of course, if you wanted to add a little accent, do have some tiny, I think some tiny little birds are warranted here. So this is called the Birds 2 set. And we're just going to slap these on a little block. I think just a small set of birds would be nice here. There we go. Okay, now I'm done messing with it. And if you wanted to add some shimmer to the water, you could do that. You know, just wait till it's dry and then add a little bit. Well, wait till your ink is dry. You can add shimmer at any time using a shimmer pen or some glitter, and then spray it down with your Krylon spray. So I'm going to cut this panel down. I will mount it to a card. And then we will be all done with this really easy. And that didn't take any time at all. How long did that take me total? 21 minutes with me messing around with everything. So, I mean, realistically, you could probably have done the whole card in 15 minutes. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, post them down below. I will link all of the products for you down in the description. Any questions or comments, put them down into the comments. If you like this video, I appreciate your thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, click the little bubble that's going to come up in the bottom right-hand corner here, and you'll get notifications whenever I post a new video. Thanks for watching. Keep on stamping.